Well, recently, Andy Worski ran into a bit of a situation. Now, some videos were released, some screen caps were released, claiming that Andy Worski was having sexual conversations with an underage girl. Now, Andy vehemently denied this. Now, that kind of came out of nowhere, and it was getting spread around by a couple of people. Uh, and well, I don't want to spoil too many things. We'll get into that, but that's our kind of our main opening. But today, what ends up happening, or I'm not even today, yesterday, what ends up happening is audio leaks get dropped because of course they do. If it's Kraut and there's a Discord, there are going to be audio leaks. He just can't help himself. He's inept. Trout in tears cannot help himself. If he is in a fucking Discord call, if he's in a Hangout call, if it's anything that's supposed to be hidden or kept confidential, it's going to go public eventually. He's just he's not a very smart boy. And Andy had some fun with those. And we're going to be listening to some key points because there's some things I want to point out as we're listening to this. Now, who would be in that call with our good buddy Kraut? Who would be sitting in that call talking about just all sorts of things? Well, there are the people that he knows, Black Knight, the wrong bishop, but there's some surprises. One of them would be Tonka Saw. The other would be V Monroe. That's weird. Why would Tonka Saw and V be in a call with Kraut? And whatever could they be talking about? Well, we're going to take a look at this. Now, I'm sure you've all been wondering, what's Kraut been up to? I mean, God, it's been a hectic, it's been a hectic 10 months for him ever since he left the internet in December. What has our boy been up to? Well, he gives us a little status update. He tells us a little bit about, how life is going, how things are going for him. Let's take a listen.
I got a fucking construction job.
Oh,
That's what I'm doing now. Like I'm preparing real life shit.
are you doing like houses or doing roads and shit?
Right now I'm pretty much moving bricks in a pond I'm building for someone.
Nice. I, that's
So Kraut got a job. Kraut got a job doing construction. And the kind of construction he's doing is, I'm sure, the type that Mundane Matt would really fucking appreciate. He's building he's building ponds and shit for people, and then putting little miniature sacrificial boulders around them. And that's sweet. He's out there, hard day's work. The boulder mover, the pond digger. He's out there, lots of sweat. Hard. Holy. Now I know some people are wondering, God, with Kraut, did he ever get Sargon to talk to him ever again? Has he been kept at an arm's distance? Well, he goes into that a little bit. Kraut wanted to make sure to apologize. He didn't want to wake up with a horse head in his bed. So let's take a listen to some of that audio.
Pretty much, I guess. I mean that's the narrative with which they run in the end. But I have to point to one thing which is true. Like I lied to Sargon. That's one thing I did. And I already
Why'd
went
you
to
lie to
Sargon and I broadcasted his conversation with me behind his back to other people. I was dishonest with him, and I already talked with him about it and had to apologize to him.
Did you
The
do it
other
because you
thing,
didn't trust him, or you didn't trust? Like, what was it that you didn't trust that you did that with?
the explanation is partially ridiculous.
I'm gonna say this though. Zeph was whispering in your ear at the time, man. To
I
me,
remember hearing that.
What we were doing were we had this thing where we were figuring out how to respond to JF, and we were discussing should we make a response video to him or should we stream it. And in case of streaming, none of the biologists in the server wanted to.
Well, now wait a second, Chad. I'm seeing a lot of people saying something like Sargon knew. That's ridiculous. It's not like we're going to listen to audio in just a minute where they talk about, Sargon knowing things or being involved in things or even joining this particular call. I mean, that's not going to happen. But Kraut wanted to man up. He wanted to apologize. He wanted to go forward and explain things. Now, this is kind of where we cut back a little bit to Andy Worski. Now, these Snapchats that were released showing him talking with an underage girl, he denied them. He denied them. Now, the people that I guess initially got the information was Anal Vape and another person named Zoom. And they swore that they were real. They went on stream. They talked about them. Well, separate streams. Anal Vape went on one, and I believe Zoom went on another to talk about it. and said, yeah, no, they're real. But it turns out that Andy has a bit of bad blood with anal vape. And, one of the interesting things is when this information came out, certain people decided to jump right on it. They saw what was coming out, they saw the information, and they immediately started tweeting out, really hot takes. Like our main man here, Donga. Donga had some super hot fire fucking takes. Like this one. Please don't tell my friends. Please. As he's showing the logs to people, and there's a picture of Andy Worski in a candy van, obviously implying that he's stalking children in some nefarious way. Other ones like this, just an average conversation about how it seems to depend on the child. And he wasn't the only one that did that. You saw people like Kraut tweeting about it. You saw people like Shitrat tweeting about it. Tommy C was tweeting about it. And they seem to, be like, oh my God, this is terrible. Look at what Andy Worski is doing. But it's really bizarre, right? Because the two people that were involved with the release of the information are apparently two people that they're familiar with. Tonka in particular had some things to say about both Anal Vape and Zoom. Let's see what his opinion on these people are. But let's see. Now, Tonka feels safe enough. He feels that the information is valid enough that he's going to totally throw it out there. So let's see what these people think of the people that released this information.
Yes, going to JF, approaching JF, and offering me this sleazy, disgusting deal. This, if you fuck over Sargon, we'll allow you back on YouTube. With Zoom. Like, I don't know much about Zoom, but besides that, people tell me to stay the fuck away from him.
No, he's a psycho. Very likely about to be in a penitentiary. Yeah, you should probably stay away from him.
Or in prison.
So Zoom is a psychopath, apparently, according to Tonka. And what is Tonka's take on anal vape? That was the person that initially had the information and released it. Well, let's take a look.
Like, they have tried to paint everyone and their mother as everything in the world, and they haven't been able to do it. And all they've done is made sure that they are painted as right. At this point, people think they're pedos. People think they're doxers. People think nothing but the worst things about somebody as weak as anal vape. And here's the worst part: his dumb ass has attached his face and actual name to it because he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking moron. You're gonna grow up known as anal vape. Your claim to fame is going to be your fucking weird pedophile talk you had. Good job.
Not really holding him in high regard. It's so bizarre to see, people discussing individuals like Anal Vape and Zoom and not having a high opinion of them, but being willing to use that information that they provide to take shots at fellow former co-hosts or people that they might be upset with. But let's jump to 2740 on our audio leaks because they have more information regarding Anal Vape and Zoom that you can kind of get an idea of what Kraut and Tonka think of them.
Time the Ruin drama started going on, there's a server called the Bannered Mare, which is also stationed with Roach Red Scam, a couple Anime Mafia guys. So I saw this server, said, wait, Kraut doxing Discord, let me click. Oh, wait, they have someone with Kraut's name in picture, Sargon's name in picture, V's name in picture, Baker Alaska's name in picture. Oh, wait, they got your fake information there, Tonka. Oh, wait, they got Joachim's potential information now in the server. Uncensored. Okay. They're doing some ops in this server, and I'm not going to be a part of it.
They're creating fake Kraut leaks.
Oh, and Zeph's most likely in that server as well.
They tried to. I know about that. All right. I try not to fucking bury him, but I wouldn't buckle and do any of the shit that these people wanted because I didn't care about any of the shit. And Failure and Andy buckled to pressure. And when they did, they went for a meeting with Zoom and King of Pole and all these people in the Bannered Mayor server.
Apparently, the Bannered Mayor server is where King of Pole hangs out to look for those hot outlines. But it appears that both Kraut and Tonka are very wary of the anime mafia, of Anal Vape, and of Zoom. They don't trust them. And yet they're willing to take the information that they're given by those people and use it to blast people like, people like Andy. Even though Andy vehemently denies that that's even a real thing. And this isn't like a one-off kind of, behavior for this group of people. They do this quite often, or at least according to what they have to say for themselves. Now, before I did this stream, because this call was leaked by a person called Elrachi, one of the people in the call itself. Before I came on stream, somebody by the name of The Guardian came forward and said, oh, well, hey, there's some information. This guy might be making this up. Well, these people talk about The Guardian. Let's listen to what they have to say about, The Guardian. What's their opinion on our detective squirrel? I'm sure it'll be enlightening.
Video, how stupid this conspiracy theory is. And sure, like, yeah, look here. You can even very easily find a guy on the internet who can prove that all of this was real. And Edgy knew this because he had the leaks. The Guardian knew this because he had the leaks. They both knew that Mycroft was basically in my server to tell the story of his grandfather. That was it. That was literally all that Mycroft was in the server for. But Edgy went on a stream and claimed that Mycroft was the guy gathering all the doxes of old writers. That's how much they lied. They literally smeared a fucking World War II veteran.
Why?
That's the extent to which they went.
Okay, why would the Guardian go that route? Because I know that guy is like all kinds of very.
It's mystery to me. Guardian is still a mystery to me.
Him flipping on you is still a mystery. Like, you don't know why that happened.
I have a theory. He's trying to cover his ass because he's the reason why the Coach Ripple stuff got on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah, he is but it's a little more of that.
He admitted that, though. I know he admitted that shit.
He could control King of Pole. He couldn't. But the problem with the Guardian, he fucked up when it came to Kraut's address. He fucked up with the narrative being spun because he didn't have control over it. If he had control over these retarded hound dogs about he's an evil doxer, it wouldn't have been this crazy. It just went overblown.
So the Guardian was trying to cover his ass. Now, if you remember back to the Kraut and T saga, when CRP's information was put up on Kiwi Farms, it was put up there by King of Pole. And King of Pole got it from the Guardian. And the Guardian seemingly gathered it, from his own sources as well as from Kraut's server. So the information goes from Kraut to the Guardian to King of Pole, and then he gets put up on Kiwi Farms. Now that information's public. Because these people, they're not doxers, right? They don't dox anybody. They just wait for publicly available information so that they can use it later on and look good doing so. The Kraut server, when all the whole saga was going on, was that one of the people he had along with him was Zeph. Now, Kraut likes to try to throw the blame off entirely onto Zeph and say that Zeph was like some kind of a bad apple. He got in there and he ruined the whole bunch. Kraut was completely innocent. He doesn't know who the fuck is this Zeph guy. So they talk a little bit about that. They speculate a little bit about Zeph and some of Zeph's activities. So let's try to get a hot take on that and see what Kraut has to say about his former associate now.
Swatting him. They called the school of his daughter and tried to fuck around with his daughter.
Yeah, got it.
No. Remember the thing that came out? Sent allegedly, because with JS being involved in this, he could have overblown it. Zeph took credit in JS DMs about calling the Scarborough Spa, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he called in and just said he's a far left terrorist gonna bomb the place for the alt-right and stuff like that.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's in that server that I was trying to link you.
Yeah, I give you the Discord link and that.
All of it.
All right, I'll pop through there.
There's a lot of stuff in there, man.
There'll be a lot of stuff to read here. Hold on.
Oh, it's like no joke when I'm saying like you're not getting through it all. Like you could now when they're talking, it ain't happening, man.
He's also very moronic in his braggadocious ways. Like he claimed that he's working with Metokur to fuck over Sargon. I don't believe it. But the one thing is he claimed to be working with JF. And I was just scratching my head in disbelief. But then JF literally 5 minutes after he sent me that DM'd me. And we have those DMs recorded. So yeah, Zeph, at the very least, Zoom is working with JF now.
Yeah, we can confirm that through JF's own word that Zoom is working with JF to take down Sargon.
Yeah.
So here we have it. A former associate of Kraut and T, Zeph, now apparently on the out and outs because he's fucking with Sargon. He's doing things to Sargon. And they've all gotten together, apparently according to these people, to work with JF JF is working, I guess, allegedly with Zoom. JF is allegedly working with Zeph, and that's a big deal. Like, let's get to a portion of it because this actually kind of ties into what happened last night on the Ralph Retort. Let me pull this one up. Prepare to be amazed by the absolute sheer fucking stupidity of the things that you're about to hear. It's really fucking stunning.
This, and he burned it all to the ground.
Angrily. For not very, very much anything in return. He fucked it.
El Ariachi, how much of the stuff that we discussed can we talk about here?
Okay, so far you're 1 out of 12 of my name, so that's pretty good.
Oh.
If you're talking about the NSA thing, I immediately told
No, not the NSA.
I immediately told
He shouldn't
Tonka
know
about
that.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
No, I mean.
No. Don't bring up the NSA thing. No. Whatever you do, don't let our secret NSA conversation out to Tonka-sa. Oh, please. No.
No, I immediately told you that. I immediately told Tonka that.
He shouldn't.
I had to tell him that
that
because there was more to it. Like I had to tell him that because he actually knows who I am. He knows more about me than you guys.
Tonka, we
So that was
basically found out that the alt-right are the guy in the NSA who gathered private data on people who oppose the alt-right.
Let that sink in for a second. The crowd is claiming that they found out that the alt-right has NSA agents running ops for them. So how do you compare that? Here's crowd in a Discord with a bunch of YouTube intellectuals trying to do gay ops with one another to take down those dirty alt-righters. And then he comes across information that the National Security Agency, the NSA, has sent in agents to work with the alt-right to take down his obnoxious videos. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it's like, this is a thing that they're very serious about. Let's listen to some more.
Huh.
But you remember I was telling you about that guy, that thing I was telling you about, the trying to trigger him, the guy that I knew. That's what I'm meant to talk. That I was so enraged about. Like I actually knew.
And Ian is the one who gave that info. That's when Spawn made that video about Ian gave me the docs. That's the information Ian gave to him.
I still get angry when I think about that because I think that Ian took advantage of spy.
Ian
news.
wanted us to get fucked. Ian wanted us to get fucked. He set up a trap for us because he expected us to go public with that and go like, "Wow, we found this NSA guy in the alt-right." You know.
So what is crowd talking about? Okay, so they found an NSA agent in the alt-right, and apparently Ian Miles Jung, video game journalist, sent them that information, and he sent it to David Shitrat. And David Shitrat gets this information and says, "I'm not going to use it." But apparently Shitrat passed it along to everybody in the Discord group because they are now convinced an NSA agent is coming after them. Now, Ian was on yesterday on the Ralph Retort. He was on the Kill stream. And during that conversation, this got brought up. The individual that was the accused NSA agent working for the alt-right had a conversation. He's like, "Why did you do that? Why'd you send my docs to David Shitrat? Why did Crowd and them know about this? Like, can you explain that to me?" And, over the course of about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, Ian eventually says, "The information was sent to me. The information was sent to me by a confidential source." And he didn't want to out that source. It was part of his integrity, he said. He didn't want to give the source away. But after a little bit of convincing, after he had talked to people and heard their side of it, because it wasn't related to any story that he was running at the time, he came out and he just said, "Okay, the person that sent me the information on the NSA agent working for the alt-right was none other than somebody by the name of Mombot, I guess a prolific gamergator on Twitter. And the information he shared when he showed his DMs with this person about our special little NSA agent was pretty fucking in-depth when you're talking about, kind of a background information. had about 10 different addresses listed, previous residents, links to resumes, junior high school photos, information on parents, the full name, the birth date, where they worked previously. And they were very insistent that Ian needed to pass this information along to other people because it would look bad. It wouldn't be the best idea for him to write it. He should give it to somebody else so that they can write it. So there's more separation. So here's all the docs of this guy. I want you to give it to somebody else so they can use it. So Ian decides, okay, I'll send it over to David Shitrat. So David Shitrat gets the information, and then he tells Kraut about it. And now Kraut and his group are convinced that the National Security Agency is out to get them. The internet is special sometimes. The shit that happens on the internet is magical, really. You can't make something like that up. It's like a Tom Clancy novel. It's there's more to it too.
Who
fucking
Ian's the
Ian
one
Mas
that had it. Yeah, I was talking to him
Mr.
about it
Ching
after
Chang
the.
Chong.
I was talking to him after the stream today. He was telling me that he knew who he was. He knew that he was dangerous. And I forget something else, but I don't know too much about. I just know that
So there's a dangerous NSA alt-right guy in the mix of all this.
he's actually a Nazi.
Yep.
I actually know. I've met him twice. I actually know.
He's a Nazi.
That's why. Yeah, he's an actual Nazi. So that's the guy that whenever I talk.
The typical NSA agent, the guy with the swastika tattoos on his face. You just walk into work one day. How you doing, Bob? Well, shit, John. I love working at the NSA, and there's nothing I love doing more during my shift at the NSA than showing off my proud National Socialist tattoos. Do you see the lightning bolts? Do you see the swastikas? Welcome to the NSA. I am an actual Nazi. Let's go fuck with Kraut and T.
I was like so livid and like worried, like scared, like because I knew who he was, and the fact that they were coming that close to triggering him to go off had me actually contact like we need to talk, and I was so emotional that night. I was telling you about because that guy, like I knew who he was. I'm like that was fucking dangerous. Like that could have actually started a mass murder. Like he wasn't going to as soon as he was exposed, he knew that he wasn't going to fall asleep that day.
The neo-Nazi, no, not neo-Nazi, the actual Nazi NSA agent was going to commit mass murder once he was exposed by Mombot and Ian Miles Jong.
Going to try after he leaked as much information as he could to destroy the lives of the people involved as he could, like through releasing their information. Would have taken a rifle and he probably would have started shooting as many Jews. Let's put that way, as many Jews as he could possibly find until he was put down. We all know this, but he's brilliant. That's why he's at Google and stuff now. He can be used. And
Oh yeah, did you catch that bit? Our Nazi mass murdering NSA agent also works at Google. It's a day, it's like a day job.
Still being used. Him and his two friends.
But the thing I wanted to ask about was more Warski related. If we can talk about that.
If you wish, like it. It's fine.
Okay, just Tonka, you might not like this, but if I can, I used to fucking hate Warski for jumping on this train and making everything so much worse for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to, in all honesty, say, if I come back to YouTube, I think we should go public with what is bothering Warski.
Oh boy, I think I know where this is going. Kraut wants to go public with what's bothering Warski. Let's find out what his plan is in regards to our little Andy.
And try to get a pity train. Well, my suggestion would be start a Kickstarter to get him into a rehab clinic.
Oh shit!
Because to be frank, if I had the choice between burning Warski to the ground for helping burn me, or getting the old Warski back, I would rather have the old Warski back.
I think he would commit suicide if that went public.
Oops. If that went public, he might kill himself. Oopsie. Well, he did play this audio on his own stream, so I don't think that's anything to be concerned about. When I heard him play it, he was laughing pretty fucking hard.
If he would like back channels, that'd be a little different. But right now, if it were like really public, I'm pretty sure he would.
Yeah,
he would
I
snap
think
and
we should
kill himself.
respect his privacy.
Yeah, if you saw his
you know what
cleaning stream-
happened? Yeah, do you know what happened? Like, did Rariachi fill you in on everything that happened with The way that
Not
the
the
stream ended.
details. Just
Okay, here's the details. There's just just enough to where you can kind of get where he's at.
We're going to get into the really interesting stuff now is starting to come up. We talked a little bit about anal vape and Zoom, and nobody in this call particularly likes them. They think, Tonka said he thinks that Zoom is a psychopath, doesn't believe anal vape is trustworthy, and talks about them basically having a server where they run their own ops. Now they've got a little bit more to say about Zoom, so let's listen into this.
It's a mess. Rariachina, it's a mess.
Yes.
But Sinead saw this stuff, or it's not Sinead, but Andy saw this stuff happening, and they start going in on Sinead. I shit you not, Andy and Failure go to Billy the Fridge. I don't know if you know him.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Billy the Fridge arranges a peace treaty between Andy and Failure and them, because I will have none of it.
Does this sound like a fucking episode of The Sopranos to you? He goes to Billy the Fridge, and Billy the Fridge says, I'll let you talk to our capo. We'll arrange a peace treaty at the strip club with you and Tony.
I can
I'm
tell you
just not
what,
interested.
with what we've found on Zoom and Co., I believe we actually have enough stuff to get these people locked up.
There's definitely enough to get him locked up. I have a audio recording of the motherfuckers like saying
Swatting
I
someone.
swatted this guy. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I have the actual 911 calls. In
Yeah,
that
that's
server.
in the Discord. Yeah, he put that in there. The actual 911 call from Zoom.
Oh, they're big and brave, aren't they? Like they were just saying it freely in there.
No, just fucking idiots. He recorded himself doing the 911 call because he thought he could brag with that. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's the uncensored one with Seth Wallace's name in it too. Let's see what score.
So I think we can put an end to this bullshit once and for all.
Well, could put it into Zoom, but here's the thing: Zeph is
a roach. He's just a roach. Zeph's,
he's kind of a roach, but he's a dangerous roach, and he will have a vendetta against you. You know this. He will just find another one. He'll find.
He
another
already
Zoom.
has a vendetta against me. I've been living with his vendetta for 6 months.
6 whole months. A few things came up, but hey, that's the fun of the internet, and today is Sunday Funday. From Sritrio, Jim's late because he had to tard wrangle Tonkasan and get his helmet back on. It's a difficult fucking thing to do. Wexley Yarway is it's what PewDiePie's chair costs. Only $4, amazing. Drectonus, an Irishman, a skeptic, and a wrestler walk into a bar. On second thoughts. Yeah, your second thoughts should be an Irishman and a skeptic walk into a bar, followed behind by a squeaky wheelchair wrestler, looking longingly at the men who have functioning legs. From M. Murray, start the show. Isaac Frost, lots of butthurt skeptics in here. Keep up the good work, Jimbo. Read 3 more and we'll get back to the good stuff. Nero 719, the SWAT team didn't read his note. $50,000 down the drain. Jim is probably talking to Josh about his docs, and that's the holdup. That or he's fingering Jade. Finally, Major Tom. Hop off the sweet and sour sauce, puss and stream. Well, there you go. Now, before we get into the majority of what we're going to be looking at, I want to give you a bit of a refresher course on what we learned from Kraut & T during his little gay Discord ops. Kraut & T had a server where he gathered information to target people in the alt-right. They had something called basically a hit list, a target list. They later changed that because it looked bad when people saw it in the leaks. Now, they claimed initially that they were just going to make scientific YouTube academic videos to refute the points of other people. But then, information started coming out that maybe it was a little more than that. Maybe there was some more shit going on, like CRP's information getting released. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that initially after the Kraut videos were released, Kraut basically flipped the fuck out and then he left the internet. But he came back. And when he came back, interestingly enough, a lot of people started to support him. He started going on different shows to talk about his opinion. He's not a doxer. Everything is wrong. They didn't do anything wrong in that server. There were no gay ops. He is an innocent boy who didn't do nothing. Our little Kraut, our little sauerkraut. He's just the guy trying to make it in the world. He's got a construction job. He builds ponds, goddammit. He doesn't have time to target those alt-righters. That's all bullshit. It's hearsay. And one of the people that Kraut was able to get it to go along with this. One of the people that changed their opinion on it was Tonkasaw. Now, Tonkasaw had Kraut and, well, Kraut's associates on to talk about the situation and came to the conclusion that, you dumb goof, Kraut did nothing wrong. Everything's innocent. So it's really weird that we see them in a call together, especially a call that seemingly took place before Kraut ever appeared on a show. And I wonder what they're going to talk about in regards to Kraut and in regards to what Kraut did. Well, let's find out. Let's take a look at some more of this audio.
Well, it's gonna. Everything is upping the ante. Every one of these moves, the stakes keep getting higher. The players keep changing, shifting sides. I mean, it's going to do it again. You know that, right?
Did somebody in chat actually just say, that's guilt by association, Jim? Motherfucker, you realize Kraut brought this asshole into his server to do dirty shit, right? Like, are we going to pretend that wasn't a reality? Oh, now, Kraut's a good boy. Boy, you skeptics are stupid motherfuckers.
I'm not trying to discourage you from doing it. Like, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just.
You gotta get ready for it. You want to walk into a ring, you know that someone's gonna throw a punch. You got your hands up. Do you have your hands up? You know,
more or less.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I was like. That's fucking all hell breaking loose, man. Again.
Well, we know for a fact, for example, that Sargon now wants to look into these people as well. And I think more and more people started realizing over time what these people are. And that's
Sargon wanted to talk to me at 3:00 today.
Really now? Because, you know, Sargon went on Tonkasaw's stream on the Morning Kumite back in March, but this conversation we're hearing right now took place in June or July. But Sargon wanted to contact you, huh, Tonka? And Sargon wants to start looking into people. Well, interesting. Let's hear where this goes.
But my Twitter, oh, excuse me, my Twitter got a fucking report on it, and I had to prove I was me or some shit. I ended up fixing that shit. By the way, I'm sick as fuck. But
stop eating old Chinese food. Come on, man.
Oh, come on. But yeah, I was supposed to meet with Sargon, but somebody reported my account today, and like it logged me out of Twitter on my phone, so I couldn't get back into it in order to like talk to V about it. And then all this shit happens, and like Sargon wanted to talk to me today before it, and then somebody said like he put out a thing where he thinks like blood sports people are doing it. It's like I bet like Sargon thinks that more than likely I would have had something to do with it. I'm not that guy, and when those guys came around, I wouldn't have anything to do with that. I'm worried how much Andy can be talked into doing, and how much money they'll talk Andy into giving them to do dumb shit.
So Sargon's interested in looking into them. I wanted to talk to Takasaw, and thinks the blood sports people are involved in some things. Huh, interesting. Are there any follow-up to that? I don't know. Let's see if we can find some follow-up to that particular statement.
You because he thinks you might know more about the anime mafia.
And 3 p.m. like right as we're ending the show, Sargon was wanting to talk to me then. V was sending me messages. Yeah. My fucking shit gets it gets reported. So like I'm trying to log back in, like, and then I get the fucking pop-up where it's, oh, do you want
we told Sargon, by the way. That might be why he wants to talk to you. We told him that Zeph and co were colluding to take him down.
Does he think that I'm doing it?
I think he might want to talk to you because he thinks you might know more about the anime mafia.
Jay, yeah, put your name in that that doc. You like that?
Oh, that's really weird, isn't it? I mean, here's Kraut, you know, he told Sargon, and Sargon's interested in looking into things. They seem to have some open communication with each other, but I could have sworn, didn't Sargon denounce Kraut? Didn't he put out a recording saying that you're doing immoral, unjust things, that you're acting like the SJWs, that it's just too much, it's too far, you've gone too far. But now here we've got, you know, private conversation with Tonkasaw and Kraut, you know, talking about what Sargon's interested in and maybe bringing him on to talk about it and bringing V on to talk about it. Interesting. Gets the, what was it? the acorns rumbling as they get thrown at your eyes.
Not docs, but the DMs that he releases up to. Your name is right there with like Zoom saying like, yeah, I just want to fuck with him, and I want to fuck with Sargon the same way I fuck with Tonka. Like now you're just like you're suddenly in that same sort of group of people that.
Here's the thing with Zoom, like Zoom didn't like everybody says Zoom fucked with me. Zoom didn't necessarily fuck with me that hard.
Yeah.
Because whenever he started trying to, I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because like, all right, like his thing is, all right, here's some wrestling footage. He never wrestled. He never had a wrestling promotion, but he sold his wrestling promotion.
Tonka's going over information basically related to what came up in the IBS Apocalypse stream, which not really the most entertaining thing in the world. But we do got something entertaining.
I saw the split in the audio thing. I just got past that. That's fucking, isn't that glorious? God damn it.
Yeah, we know that Seth did that.
Oh, Jesus. Hold up. Let me see if I can. Is this the right computer? I have like 4 or 5 computers. Yeah, this one has it. Let me, where's my screen gimmick here? Yeah, it still pops up. Okay. Here, I'm gonna trust that guy everybody says that I should never fucking talk to. This is a great plan. All right, so this is the folder that was given to me by Thomas Ellington.
And for those of you curious what that folder looks like, let me pull it up for you. This is the folder that he's talking about. You may notice a few things. A few things in there. It's amazing how many people have a gym folder on their fucking desktop. But apparently Thomas Ellington does. And so does Tonka. It's so weird. It's so weird that he does. I wonder if that ties into anybody else. Let's find out.
Lots of goodies in here.
Let's see.
Now, do any of these pique interest? Like, I'll show them all. I don't give a fuck. Like, do any of these things here pique any interest on anybody?
Exposing fags, fake Tonka, King of Pool Zoom, Kuwaffen, no pedophilia.
Oh, hold on. I thought you meant to click it. You were just reading over. Give me a second. Okay.
I'm just reading over here.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff's on Kiwi, actually, because he linked the Dropbox.
Which one did?
Let's look at Tui for one, because he's back at it again too.
Tui back.
Yeah, he's back.
All right.
Oh shit, that was on Kiwi.
That one was.
Yeah.
Seen through this, Black Knight?
Yeah, it's on King of Poles, because right when he threw King of Pole under the bus. Hell, even the Guardians DMs with Thomas Ellington came out on Kiwi Farms.
Huh.
With him twisting his fucking arm to do thine bidding.
The Guardian was making Thomas. What was he making him do? I never look at these boards. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Believe me, you'll save yourself some fucking brain cells. Like, I'm mad about what we had to do for 3 months. So what happened was the Guardian was like, just clear up all the information, look into it more in order to protect King of Pole. And also he said, King of Pole didn't do nothing. I'm sure he didn't do nothing. That's what he did to him.
Huh.
Yeah. It's there. Oh, that's there.
Okay, so these are all the ones that were on like Kiwi Farms. This is Thomas Ellington's.
He had a Dropbox of the stuff when he made that video.
Like, this is the stuff that he gave to me, and then...
So I think it's important to interject here because some interesting information came out from the Oofcast 2 days ago and last night on the Kill stream. Now Tonka's saying Thomas Ellington gave him this folder, and in that folder we can clearly see a Metokur, a gym folder. Let me see if I can get the time code right on this, because Thomas Ellington decided to come on last night on the Kill stream, and we had a little conversation. Essentially, Thomas went on to a stream on his Oofcast with his co-host and said, people are sending me Jim's docs, and they're doing a more thorough background than Kiwi Farms did. That he wanted to expand on it, mention shit like credit reports. So it's really weird that Thomas Ellington would be this interested in getting more docs information about little old me. And at the same time, we see previously was sending out folders to people like Tonka Saw with a little Jim folder in there. What have you been up to, Mr. Ellington? What exactly is going on the Oofcast? It's making me a little confused. Boomer Jim, yeah, it's fucking with my head. Fucking with my head a little bit. Not sure what's going on there, but a little suspicious. That's right, chat. Jim's nudes. The nudes are in there. the fucking nudes are in there. That's what I have no idea. Yeah. I swear to God, that's what he said. Something like credit reports, which I don't even know how he'd get, but that's what he was going for. He wanted a financial background check on top of the docs. All right. Sorry, I'm looking for the time code. I will return to it when I find it. Again, show got a little frazzled. A little bit of things came up, so we kind of threw the opening off a bit. Okay, fucked my momentum up a little bit, but we'll get into it. We'll get into the spin of it. If you remember, should I go to the alt-right leaks? Do you want to hear about alt-right leaks and who was behind that? Because apparently Crowd has no problem talking about it. He was convinced it was Mossad, and it seems he might have been close.
You know, I'm kind of like partially the reason why David Rubin took him back. Like he burned Strawman because he thought he was doxing, and somehow like someone added at me asking if like, you know, using an IP scraper was illegal, and I said no. You know, every website you go to like logs your IP. It's like a best clickbait, and that's why like Raven Druid like even retweeted me and like fucking reinstated Strawman back. It's one of my few online regrets.
The funniest thing was alt-right leaks. I don't know if you noticed that one.
I heard parts of it. It was a big deal for about 10 minutes, and then it all kind of went down.
No, this guy, everyone thought it was me making a return to YouTube. It wasn't me. It's a German dude. He has a weird accent. I spoke with him, who spent 1.5 years in Nazi servers uncovering their bullshit. He pretended to be a Nazi himself. He found them running hacking servers where they hack people's accounts and blogs and blah, blah, blah. But the guy is weird. He's not me. When I first saw him, I thought it was Mossad. It's just... But I think he's just an Israeli immigrant who lives in Germany. That's basically it.
So, all right. So they assumed that was you. So you caught a bunch of shit over that too.
I did, but I contacted him. I was fine with what he was doing, and he actually did me a great favor by looking into my thing and uncovering shit that we didn't know about.
Crowd,
Like
go and tell him. I could make fun of you for it. Tell him.
The scientist, which JF sent into my server to spy on me, turned out not to be a scientist, but just some alt-right shithead who was sent in there to fuck with me.
So far in Crowd's magical world, we've got Nazi NSA agents that work for Google that are targeting YouTubers that make fun of the alt-right. And now we've got Israeli Nazis who are members of Mossad that are giving him information so he can flush out double agents in his super secret gay Discord ops. It's a hell of a fairy tale to be living.
His title in his server, what he studied, what he was over, was biomedicinist.
Black Knight is a biologist. He knows that that's not a thing. I don't.
Biomedicinist. You mean pharmacist? You said pharmacist. Okay. Biochemist. Okay. No. Biomedicinist. I would have fucking hit the band hammer on him immediately.
Look, people fall all the time for this shit. You know, I had Metokur falling for my virtual cattle wrestling thing.
Okay, that's funny.
I've been trolled. I've been trolled by Bishop here. Let's hear his hot take.
And I intentionally made it the most ridiculous, like legal jargon bullshit I could ever make, and they somehow still fell for it.
Hannaford's Law.
I love that. That was great, though. I love that. I do.
It also shows how paranoid Edgy is. Because Braving Ruin. I keep calling him Edgy because I know him from 2 years ago.
It used to be his other name. I didn't know all this.
Yeah, I'm talking to a lawyer right now because I live with my parents, as you can notice. The reason is my apartment was flooded about a month ago.
Living with mom and dad, building ponds out in the wilderness, fighting against Nazi NSA agents, and helping out Mossad to fucking root out the bad people in your server. What a fucking blessed life. What a special, blessed, magical fairy tale existence. Let's jump ahead. What is the next? Oh, here we go. 134 on the leaked audio.
Because I mean, the DMs, like they're not. I did give them everything, of course, but they're intentionally acting like they didn't get anything yet. They're waiting. They're waiting for permission, like to really go public. But because the flagging is like hurting them economically, that's why I send that to them. They're waiting.
Everyone who dug up the shit against me 6 months ago, everyone who, like, I'm not necessarily talking about everyone who jumped on the bandwagon, but everyone who started this bullshit turned out to be a complete sack of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Provable. A complete lying, repugnant, disgusting, vile, on occasion even a fucking child molesting sack of shit.
I get, I'm not you lying pedophile. I'm like, I'm not a liar.
Yeah, Zoom. That's Zoom. Yeah.
No, but Carl, like I said, like nuclear option, just because I'm only concerned with these people at this point is they're going to do this to other people. That's my only concern. And you rather get that out to more people, like anonymously start leaking that shit, and just have people run with it because they'll run with it. All this stuff's too good. So many people will.
We will be working on a video, but before I publish it, I'm going to show it around to people. Like, if I'm going to make this public in the video, it has to be a great video. And I guess we can all agree on that.
No, it's got to be good. It's mine. I don't even know if you should be the one. I think like you should make it with all of your information. I'm not saying that, but you give it to like if Sargon will fucking go. I don't know.
I think people want to hear his voice because they want to know. He's his best advocate. At some point in time,
you're not saying, not to have like your voice, not that, but like get it out. You got to get it out loud. If shit doesn't get said loud, it gets buried with all the rest of the stuff.
Should we start okay, I'm going to say it for us. Should we start a slow burn on the show where we start talking about this information but not fully releasing it?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Ooh. You should just do that just because it would scare Braving Ruin, and I would love to see that monkey scared.
Oh, he wants to scare that little monkey. Oh, Kraut, you reminded me of your forum post. Won't you get arrested in your home country for saying things like that? That's hate speech. What are you doing? Okay, well, you know what? I think I'll jump into this. Let's start tying some things together. Tommy C. Tommy C is not a big fan of mine. If you've ever heard of him, probably not because he has no fucking audience. But Tommy C likes to put out statements. He had a few choice words for me when he was drunk on his birthday stream with Tonka Saw. Interesting. Let's see what Tommy had to say when he was hanging out with Tonka Saw drunk.
Literally hiding from a verbal debate with Jimmy.
He fucking scares you, fat fucking pussy.
Hey, he's scared. Jim is done. Jim is done. Jim is on his way out, dude. Jim is done. He's finished. It's over. Real soon.
That's all you got.
Metokur is over. Wow, God, Tommy, wow, that's such a hot take. I mean, where did you get such a hot take? Where would you hear something? Oh, you would have heard that in the Discord that you're hanging out in with Kraut and T. See that name on the bottom right-hand side there, that Tommy C? Oh, look who else is in there. Short Fat Otaku. Oh, and there's Kraut talking. Weird. That's kind of weird that they're all just chilling out together. I wonder, do they have an opinion on Tommy C? Or what does this group think of that brave individual? Let's see if we can find a hot take on what they think of good old Tommy.
Really well.
That was the weird thing that happened with Zoom. Where
he's a good guy. Like there's a lot of American soldiers who are stationed in Germany and who fuck German.
Find something on them, and for 2 weeks we tried to find.
Wait a minute, whose voice is that I hear? Oh, our little Romanian carrier pigeon has shown up. V has joined the call. Huh.
Something on them, and look how much info is coming.
Fucking. They can't even make their own Arc server. They're trying to get into his. They literally can't make their own Arc. It's fucking sad.
By the way, are you Geek Thulu? Because you have the same voice.
Me?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Oh, come on, you fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. I'm not afraid of Ouija. Ouija. That's Geek Thulu. Oh my god.
I only know him from Tommy C stream where like he just dropped the ball hard while calling on Tommy C.
Oh, by the way, you might not know this. I know from Tommy that you've been talking to Tommy. Like for weeks I've been knowing that because Tommy and I are really good friends.
Oh, me?
We know each other. Yeah.
Oh,
Tommy and I know each other really well.
That was the weird thing that happened with Zoom.
So there's Tommy C, hanging out in Kraut's Discord server. And he, according to Kraut, is very good friends with Kraut. And also apparently very good friends with Tonkasaw because they've been talking for weeks. Tonkasaw even went on to his birthday stream. And then about a month before I get, doxxed, right around the time that my shit's getting flagged down, there's Tommy saying in a very drunken manner, Metokur's done for. Just you wait, Metokur's done for. And then there's Tonka in this call getting folders from Thomas Ellington, the same Thomas Ellington that said that he wanted more of my docs, that he actually had somebody send them to him, that person was looking for more detailed information to pass around. Huh, weird. It's weird. It gets the old noodle going, doesn't it?
He's a good guy. Like there's a lot of American soldiers who are stationed in Germany and who fuck German broads and get them pregnant and then they go back to the US. He's one of the few who decided to stay here and take care of the kid. I have a lot of respect for that because he could have just fucked off back to New Jersey.
By the way, Joachim thinks that Kraut is responsible for a lot of the ops that are going on.
He's blaming Kraut.
Yeah.
I'm literally moving bricks. I have to go to work in 3 hours.
3 hours.
He's got to go dig those ponds. People need places to put their little miniature boulders in their front yard. Now, one of the things that Tonka and Kraut discussed during this call was one of their own gay ops. Would you like to hear Tonka's gay op attempt? Because you can't talk to Kraut and T without deciding that you're going to sit down and really plan out a gay op together. I mean, I think it's like custom. It's a tradition to do that. So let's hear what their gay op was.
If they don't answer you, if other people don't answer your call, and you're not getting what they're not willing to help you for one reason or another, trying to keep whatever clear. I could there is a way that we could do this, and an easy way. If you ever just showed up and were like in the chat and I said I would talk shit to you, and then you come on and I would keep being mean to you, and then you just say, look at this and look at this and look at this, and everybody would be there for the fight because it would be me yelling at you. Nobody knows I'm talking to you.
We can do one gay op, and it would be this. I think we're owed a gay op. We're owed one gay
to
op.
Fuck the other ops that have annoyed the shit out of me.
That's what the ebook will be called, one gay op.
They call everything I do a fucking work. I'll show them a fucking work. I will work them all. I could work them all into their fucking seats. And then they're thinking I'm about to fucking go in on you and all this shit. And then we'll look at this. We'll look at this. Listen to this.
Do you mind if I talk to Sargon first about all of this?
Oh,
no, I'm telling you, talk to people who could do it better. And I will tell V the same thing. I would.
Yeah, that almost sounds like Kraut wants to go get Sargon's permission first before he acts on Tonka's brilliant gay op idea.
Tell Sargon the same thing because I
we're
know
not
that
greedy
V is
fuckers.
like.
We're not trying to get money off you.
I'm not telling them that now. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you can do what you're gonna do, but V will tell you I'm not gonna fuck you. That's not how I do things. It's not my MO.
Yeah, check around. Don't trust us because a lot of people are lying to you. Talk to other people. We don't fuck you. Well, that means people really don't know who I am, but if they tell
If
me,
you have proof,
Yeah.
you have to trick people into wanting to see it.
Mm-hmm.
if they think that you're going to get shit on, and you're finally like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go in there and talk to Tonka, and they're like, oh well, Tonka's he's had a bad go, so maybe Kraut thinks he can get it, and it's good. Kraut and Tonka are about to go, and like sit in the chat for like a second, take a while to get there, let them all get there, make sure they're all sitting, and they come in, and don't be nice,
There's this one thing.
Tell
you
my
could do.
dumb ass to look at it. Go ahead.
Would you talk to the journalist who wants to write the piece on Braving Ruin?
Yeah, drag her ass on. Have her get ready for it. Like, we might be able to get you on the show today.
On the show?
So she was willing to go on the show. Yeah, fuck it. She was
It's a
willing to go
he.
on the show.
It's not a she. It's a he.
I don't know why I kept saying she, but then again,
The other journalist was a she.
I'm
What
going
other
to use that
journalist?
excuse. I'm going to use that excuse. But yeah, he'll go on. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let's burn it. If you're going to burn it down,
Okay.
we will burn it down.
Okay, are you all right? Wait,
I'm in.
all right, hold on. You can't. What is tomorrow? It's tomorrow Wednesday?
Nope.
Thursday.
Got it.
Oof. Okay, yeah, Thursday's always a spicy day. All right, so hold on. Again, I hate gay ops, but goddamn if we're not owed one.
Yeah,
You get one gay op, just the one gay op. It's interesting. Kraut wanted Tonka Saw to talk to the journalist. That's the same journalist, I guess, that's confirming docs or expanding on them. Because if you listen to a statement later on in the call, it makes you wonder what exactly this journalist is doing when it comes to Braving Ruin and his information. It's one line in particular. Let's see if you guys can pick up on it. It's about 10 seconds after this, I believe. I want to make sure I got the right timestamp. Yep, should be right.
Andy's fucking.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
that
you're
is
gonna see
Igor?
lots of those.
Andy is a
Is that the
puppet.
guy who used to be existential Igor?
Braving Ruin is the minority.
Well, we have confirmation thanks to the journal that's not he doesn't live in a rough neighborhood.
You see all right diversity
Yeah.
credit.
So what does that mean exactly, right? When Black Knight jumps in there and says, we have confirmation from our journalist that he does live in a rough neighborhood. Now, it's known that Kraut had access to Braving Ruin's personal information, but I don't know how far that extended. So, did this journalist, have their information? Why is a journalist who wants to write a story on Braving Ruin giving people in a Discord that are doing gay ops confirmation on the neighborhoods that he lives in? Why would they be sharing that? Strikes me as somewhat odd. About as odd as Sargon and V deciding that they want to join the call and being invited in by Kraut of all people. It's a little strange too.
It's gonna be the chat if we hold one of those streams, because whatever you can.
Do you
say about
mind if
these
I give the
events-
invite to Sargon and V?
Oh wow!
Oh,
This? Yeah, okay.
V just DM'd me with a couple of screen caps. Sargon just asked me what is JF's plan.
I gave it to them. I'm the one who handed that off. V, you fucking shithead. I said, don't say shit. Where the fuck? Get him in here so I can scream at him.
It's V. God damn it, he did the same.
Don't
thing.
say shit. I'm telling Sargon. I'm telling Crowd. I'm telling you, motherfucker.
Come on, Nate.
Actually-
I'm only telling a few people plus their friends.
I was just telling him that because I was like, tell Sargon not to like say any more shit because they're gonna try to make a fool of him.
Oh, okay.
That's why I told him that.
yeah.
Like you just kind of tell Sargon to not say shit. Don't show him anything because I don't know if Sargon showed. God damn, I need drink. I'll be right back. Not like I don't drink. I'm talking about Dr. fucking Pepper. Coffee.
All right, should we take bets whether or not Sargon even knows who I am, and if he does, can he pronounce the name?
So those are some selections from this. There is actually I'll save that for last. Let me save that one for last. Let me pull up a different stream because it actually has this clipped out for me. Make it a lot easier. Because if he joins a conversation, they're having discussions about things, and he says something kind of interesting, a little off the cuff, but interesting nonetheless. So let me pull that up. Let's give it a listen. Give it a little listen and see what it has to say. This is from Andy's stream when they're going over it, but I have it timestamped on this.
I hate him because I think he's the only straight white guy in the entire outright YouTube community.
The excuse that they use is that he wanted to dox Zeph.
Sure.
That's the excuse that they use. Meanwhile, You see that Zeph does nothing but run around and dox people and hand it off to people.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, you know what? We need to bring back doxing hashtag. Like I'm
Did you
sick
get
and
this one?
tired. Like every time someone does it, it's like, oh, let's moralize it. Meanwhile, they got people like Zoom and Zeph doxing left and right, but you're not allowed to dox them.
Yeah. All right, hold on real quick. It says, I don't know if you have these, but
Oh, V is sick of moralizing about doxing. These guys are doxing people. Why can't we do the same thing? God, it seems everybody's opinion in this private conversation really runs different than what they say more publicly, doesn't it? V, what are you doing? Why would you say that? Bring back doxing. Okay. What a brilliant fucking statement, V. You just bring it back. Just take it on back. Okay. That's good. Now, some of you may remember I had a little theory about David Shitrat. Now, Wizard of Cause went on to Twitter, and when he was on Twitter, he got into an argument with David Shitrat. And during their argument, it came out from Wizard of Cause saying, David, the only reason this alt-right shit is going on, the only reason that server was set up, the only reason all of this happened is because basically an alt-right girl rejected you, who people speculate is Lauren Southern, and you're going on an internet war to get revenge for that. Now that's one guy saying that. Everybody believes that Kraut and T was the original person that set all this up. But, I want to lay a little groundwork for what's coming up with our friend Shitrat. Because Kraut's got a different take on it. And it kind of lines up with Wizard of Cause. Let's give it a listen.
I'm sure that went fucking rough.
Yeah, I'll leave it alone because I don't want to send information like that.
Yeah, letting him know I'm not talking to anybody, but if I go up here, he has. What do we got? He feels personally wronged by me. I remember one time a couple of Twitter accounts ago, Shitrat and this idiot takes me seriously by people he shouldn't be referring to me. See, he has been on YouTube for like 5 years now, never cracked 15,000 subs, despite constantly kissing up to Sargon and bigger people. Long, get 25K in 9 months, my first channel, and when I came back, I got 16.
Who is it talking about? Who's this person that never cracked?
The rat here.
Shirat.
As I know, he actually had a lot of subs.
Yeah, this is I know again.
Yeah, a lot more subs than he had now.
I was just asking, how does it get like this, where like motherfuckers are trying to wreck?
I don't know why you recruit this Spider. Honestly, the guy is dumb as a brick, and he doesn't.
I didn't really recruit Spider. That's the funniest part. Like Spider kind of approached me.
By the way, everybody,
I didn't recruit David Shitrat to do the gay Discord ops. David Shitrat recruited me to do it. So that almost corroborates what Wizard of Cause was saying. That David Shitrat, because he got rejected by Lauren Southern, because David's not a big boy. He's got a little bit of autism. He tinkles himself and has to have mommy clean up after him. So I guess Lauren wasn't really turned on by that and didn't decide to take him up on the offer of a date. Because that happened, that heartbreak happened. David Shitrat decided to wage jihad against the alt-right and recruited our little Trout here, brought him into the fold. What I find really stunning is, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, every time I've tried to do a stream about David, something else has popped up that has distracted me from doing a stream about David. That's why we're splitting this into 2 parts, because David's going to be covered tomorrow. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic he's working, what kind of super autism that he has. But if he's out there recruiting Kraut, our genius strategist, it's not looking good. Little shit rat, little puddle pants, recruiting Kraut to do the dirty work. So I find it bizarre that you've got a group of people that are all gathered together, that seemingly are all friends with each other now, that are talking about doing gay ops with each other, talking about doing PR campaigns with each other, are sharing information with each other, hanging out in Discords with each other. And they all seem to have the same narrative when it comes to dealing with anybody they don't like. When the thing about Andy happened, even though they say they knew that it was the people from the anime mafia, even though they said they knew that it was people that couldn't be trusted, they took that information and all used the exact same smear to go after them. A smear that Andy is a pedophile. It's a smear I've heard before. When somebody called me a child groomer, It's almost like it's a new tactic, a new game plan to go forward with. Let's paint them as something atrocious to kill that fan base, to put them in a negative light so they can't recover from it. And we'll do it by any means necessary. Boy, that would sound like a crazy conspiracy theory, unless all these people happen to hang out together apparently and all talk strategy with each other about how to do gay ops with one another. Like, clearing up Kraut's name was the first step. Making sure people didn't think he was a doxer was the first step. Wanting to get revenge on Braving Ruin was a part of it. Wanting to go back after the alt-right is apparently a part of it. Taking care of Andy Worski is now apparently a part of it. Because, we've got to use that information to really teach Andy a lesson. Because I guess he didn't kiss the fucking ring. He didn't go out there and kiss the ring. Now, let's jump into this. This will be fun. This will be entertaining. Let me just pull up 2 sites here. I think you guys are going to like this. I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, if you remember what I said earlier about Kraut and T and how that worked, what did we find out about Kraut and T? Well, he wanted to put the information out so it was public, and then he could use it without looking like he was the one that put it out himself. If the information's already publicly available on Kiwi Farms, then he's not guilty of doxing or passing around information. His hands are clean. Now, even though Kraut didn't end up doing anything with the CRP info, he didn't do like a specific video, Sargon of Akkad did. He put up a CRP video using the information from Kiwi Farms. But do you think they ever did anything similar? I mean, do you think there's any instance or maybe something pointing to that maybe that happened somewhere else? God, I don't know. I don't know. Let me just pull up 2 sites here, and then I'll show you. I'll let you take a look, and you tell me what you think. So his stream goes up September 16th. Interestingly, over on Encyclopedia Dramatica, on September 14th and September 15th, my article is updated by a very large amount. Lots of stuff is put up there. You can see that it goes from 11,000 to 26,000. Somebody really updated that. What's that name there? Cobalt Cat. Okay. Well, Cobalt Cat, where have I heard that name before? Oh, yeah, that was a comment on another Sargon video. I wonder, what did he have to say on the other Sargon video? Let's take a look. Cobalt Cat. But I'm still curious as to why you gave out several of Jim's old shenanigans to Encyclopedia Dramatica, a website you stated you love, like his old videos such as, and there's a list of old videos here. I'm still curious, why did you give Encyclopedia Dramatica information about Jim? Huh. That name looks familiar. Cobalt Cat. Right before his stream. Yeah, September 14th, September 15th, September 16th. It seems like, it would almost seem like Sargon of Akkad gave information to Encyclopedia Dramatica so that it could appear publicly and that he might be able to use it on his stream, but for whatever reason, I guess, pussied out. Oh, God, that sounds familiar. Who else did something like that? Might it have been, I don't know, might it have been Kraut? By going to Kiwi Farms to do the same fucking thing? Deep lore. The deepest lore. But I'm sure it's just a coincidence, chat. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Obviously, noggins are a joggin'. It's just a group of people hanging out together in a Discord, doing gay ops with each other. Just a complete and utter coincidence. The more interesting thing is, and I wish I could have found it, but I'm pretty sure Cobalt up on Kiwi had said in either the Sargon thread or another one, I wonder why he never used the info. I wonder why he never used the info. Maybe you're not aware, but Sargon's put up a couple of videos since, well, everything's been going on since the leaks came out. The first one was Mr. O'Shaughnessy has a meltdown in which he misspelled the last name. That's not surprising. I've seen his grades in school, so not surprising at all. But he had another one called Jim Loses the Audience. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, there it is. Jim Loses the Audience up on Sargon's Thinkery channel. And I was thinking, God, he's right. I am losing the audience. I really have been so busy with everything going on for the last month. I haven't had a chance to put a video up. We're already on the 21st day of the month. And I've had no videos up this month. But Sargon on his channel, on his big main channel, he's put up like 8 videos. I mean, he knows how to retain that audience. I mean, look at the metrics there. Over the last 30 days, he's gained 5,200 subscribers. He knows how to hold on to an audience. And here's Jimbo, hasn't put up a single video. In the last 30 days, he's gained 7,900 subscribers. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Sargon. I'm confused. Are you telling me that you can be more successful than Sargon of Akkad on YouTube by putting in no effort? That if you just don't say anything, you can actually gain more subscribers in the same time period than Sargon of Akkad? That his shit is so fucking awful that if he were to stop releasing videos, he'd probably get more subscribers rather than less? No, that can't be it. Can't be it. Hurtful. Oh, shameful.